What's good with the fight fans? It's your boy Kijana back with some fight predictions this week. UFC 245, Usman versus Covington. It's gonna be a hell of a card, man. It looks like there's some serious bangers on here. The Mike Perry fight, I'm looking forward to. Marlon Moraes fight, I'm looking forward to. Peter Yan. I mean, fuck, dude. Damn near all of these fights, I'm pretty much looking forward to. Um, Sorry, I'm getting to these fight predictions so fucking late. I've had such a busy schedule this week. I usually like to get them out by Monday or Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. It just depends on my schedule. I had my notes written down, ready to do all these fucking picks, and couldn't get to them until today. So yeah, but I'm pretty set on most of these people that I'm picking. I had really good picks last week. I cashed out on a few of them on Bovada. Didn't do so well on DraftKings. I had so many picks that I was right on. I just didn't match them up correctly. And then there was a few that just fucked me over big time, but it's all good. Early prelims: Punahele Soriano, aka Storytime, versus Oscar Piechota. Storytime, 6-0 record, 3 TKOs, 2 sub wins. This guy's a very antsy fighter. He doesn't have patience in his fight whatsoever, and it's funny because he actually says that in some of his interviews that he needs to work on just being patient in the fight and letting things kind of come to him. Sometimes he doesn't do that very well. He looks for the finish, and he's occasionally, if he doesn't get the finish, he ends up gassing himself out. He has really good double leg takedowns, nasty combinations. He's got 2 rear naked choke wins in his career, but this guy's still very new. This will be an interesting fight because Oscar Piechota, he's like 11-2 record, 5 KO/TKOs, 5 sub wins, 2 sub losses. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He doesn't have the best takedown defense. We've seen that against Rodolfo Vieira. That guy made fucking easy work of Oscar, and got put in the arm triangle pretty much like nothing. Very slow starter. He has got pretty decent cardio. Clinch work and trips are pretty good. He's got clean striking. He's kind of an average striker, though. This guy is still fairly new to the UFC as well, so this is going to be an interesting fight to see. Basically, I mean, Soriano is making his debut, and Oscar's only had a few fights in the UFC, so this one could really go either way, but I'm going to roll with the Hawaiian. I'm rolling with Soriano on this one. I feel like he's going to get the finish. And if he doesn't get the finish, man, he's definitely trying to get the finish, because in every one of his fights that he has, he goes for it, dude. So I'm rolling with him. Next fight, man, Jessica Eye versus Vivian Araújo. Jessica Evil Eye, 14-7 record, 3 TKOs/KOs, 1 sub win, 10 decision wins, 1 KO loss and 1 sub loss. She lost her last fight by a vicious head kick to Shevchenko, which, oh man, I don't even know what to say about that one, because it was so deadly, dude. I felt bad for her, man. I picked Shevchenko to win that fight. I knew Shevchenko was going to get a knockout. I called it in first round. A lot of people said that Shevchenko's not a knockout artist, and she is a knockout artist. She's just a patient fighter. She doesn't look for the knockout, but if it comes, she's going to knock you the fuck out. And that's what she did to Jessica Eye, man. People were saying Jessica Eye was going to win, and she was no match for Shevchenko. But this chick's durable. She's tough. She's a gritty fighter. She's been around for a while. But I'm just kind of worried about her chin and how it's going to hold up in her next fights, because it did not hold up very well against Shevchenko. And when she got knocked out, she was out cold for a while, and it's crazy because she was out cold, but her eyes were still open. So that's like a really bad concussion, just a really bad knockout in general. And she's fighting a chick that's just stylistically, I think Vivian has her beat, aka Vivi. She's 8-1 record. She's super new to the UFC still. She's got 3 KO/TKOs, 4 sub wins, 1 TKO loss to Sarah Frodo back in 2017. She's an explosive striker. She's in and out with her movement. She's always bouncing. She's on her toes. She's never flat-footed. And this is just a bad matchup for Jessica Eye, man, because Jessica Eye she's a little flat-footed. She does have decent striking. She does walk her opponents down, but this is just, I feel like Jessica Eye could definitely have the cardio advantage over this girl. But Vivian has fast twitch muscles. She's got very nice combinations, and she's got very nice kicks, leg kicks in general, and body kicks. And she mixes her striking up really good. But yeah, like I said, this girl's cardio is questionable. So, I could see Jessica Eye getting a decision victory in this one. But I'm rolling with Vivian Araújo. Yeah, man. She slowed down a ton versus Toledo Bernardo before she finished her in the third round. But I just feel like that fast twitch muscle that she has and that in and out movement and that speed advantage that she's going to have on Jessica Ai, it's going to be too much. And she possibly could get a knockout because we don't know how Jessica Ai's chin's going to hold up after that vicious knockout she had against Shevchenko. Yeah, so I'm rolling with Vivian. Next fight, Brandon Moreno, Baby Assassin versus Kai Kara France. Don't blink. Baby Assassin, 15-5 record. 2 KO/TKOs, 10 sub wins, 5 decision losses. In my own opinion, I think he got robbed in his last fight against Askar Askarov. I feel like Brandon Moreno definitely should have won that fight. I mean, he was in Mexico too. Like, I think they should have gave him that win on that one for sure. He outstruck him. I think he had more takedowns than Askarov as well, and he had takedown defenses. So I mean, I don't know what the judges seen in that fight, but I still feel like Brandon Moreno should have won that one. He's got a very tricky submission game. Loves the rear naked choke. His striking's improved a lot as well. If you watch some of his older fights, his striking was kind of horrible. He does swing wild at times, and when he gets tired, he tends to just throw looping punches, and like with his head ducked down, not really paying attention. But he has pretty good takedowns. He's got the height and reach advantage for this fight. This is gonna be a good fight too because it's a tough test for Kai Kara. We get to see really what he's about because he hasn't fought anybody like Brandon Moreno yet. But he has a 20-7 record, 9 KO/TKOs, 3 sub wins, 2 TKO losses, 2 sub losses. He's got a Muay Thai background. He's a lethal striker, dude. This fool throws bombs. He's looking to knock you out. He's got a really nice right overhand and his left hook. His left hooks are fucking vicious. So I mean. Yeah, he's going to be looking for the knockout in this one. That's what I see. And I feel like Brandon Moreno is going to be trying to go for a submission, probably a rear naked choke. He's got pretty good cardio. Actually, Kai Kara France got really good cardio. I feel like Brandon Moreno has a cardio issue, and I think it's just because of his weight cut. But I'm rolling with Brandon Moreno. I'm taking a chance on this one. He got robbed in his last one, and he's on a I think a 2-fight or 3-fight losing streak. Yeah, I think Brandon Moreno is going to probably edge him. If it goes to decision, I think he could probably edge him. But I also think he could submit Kai Kara. Hopefully he doesn't get caught. He does swing wild at times. So this one, oh man, you could flip a coin. This one could go either way. But I'm rolling with Brandon Moreno. Next fight, Daniel Tamir versus Chase Hooper. Kid Dynamite versus the Teenage Dream. Daniel Tamir, 7-3 record. 3 KO/TKOs. 3 sub wins, 2 sub losses. His striking's fucking average, dude. This guy's not really that exciting to watch. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He was on a 3-fight losing streak before beating Sung Bin Jo by decision. That was his last fight. It was all right. It was an okay performance. He's got a good sub game off his back. Very good cardio. Always pressures his opponents. This guy's kind of just wiry in general. His brother, I feel like, is way better. David Tamir, I feel like he's way better than Daniel. Yeah, so he's fighting Chase Hooper, 8-0 record, 2 KO/TKOs, 4 sub wins. He's a long, rangy fighter. Pretty decent sub game. Hasn't fought anyone as good as this guy yet, Daniel Tamir. I don't think he's fighting anybody as good as him yet. At least from the highlights that I've seen from some of his previous fights before, because this is Chase Hooper's debut, so this is going to be an interesting test for him too. Daniel Tamir is really going to want to get a second win under his belt. This guy's striking, Chase Hooper's striking's all right. He slows down tremendously in the third rounds, dude. This guy, I don't know if it's because he's 6'1" and he's in a 145-pound division. That's a really big weight cut for someone who's 6'1". So, I mean, maybe I could definitely see him gassing out versus Tamir and Tamir edging him in the second and third round. But I could also see Chase Hooper probably submitting Daniel Tamir. So he's making his debut. I put a question mark by this one because I was unsure of who to pick. But I'm going to roll with the new dude. I'm rolling with the Teenage Dream. I think Chase Hooper could get it done. And even by decision, I think he could probably get it done. So that'll be an interesting one. Next fight, man, fuck. Battle of the Old Men. Matt Brown versus Ben Saunders. Matt Brown, the immortal, 21-16 record, 13 KO/TKO, 6 sub wins, 2 KO/TKO losses, 10 sub losses. That's a shitload of submission losses. Hasn't fought since 2017. He KO'd, who did he KO? Diego Sanchez with a vicious elbow against the cage. He just kept pressuring him and he knocked him out. It was a really nice knockout. He's a pretty good striker. He mixes it up well. He's got nasty leg kicks as well. Pretty good clinch work. He's at the end of his career, dude. He's like 37 or 38 years old. I feel like he should have retired a while ago, but he's also fighting Killer B, Ben Saunders, 22-12 record, 11 KO/TKO, 6 sub wins, 8 KO/TKO losses, 1 sub loss, 3 fight losing streak, all finishes. He's known to have gotten knocked out a few times. I mean, yeah, 8 KO/TKO losses. That's too many, man. That's too many. You shouldn't be in the UFC anymore. If you get knocked out that many times, I feel like you shouldn't be fighting anymore. Like, that's pretty bad, dude. That's a lot of head trauma. It's a lot of concussions. It's really easy to get knocked out after you've been knocked out once, especially if it's a vicious knockout. And Ben Saunders has been knocked out pretty bad a few times. So his last win was to Jake Ellenberger, and that's not really an impressive victory because Jake Ellenberger's been at the end of his career for a long time. I don't even think he's fighting in the UFC anymore. This guy's got no chin. He's an older fighter. I think he's 35 or 36. He's very tall for the division, 6'3". Got good reach, good clinch work, decent submission game, but he's also at the end of his career. So this is the battle of old men. Like, whatever old man can withstand some punches and get the win in this one. This one is, as I said, you just striker versus grappler. You just fucking flip a coin, figure out who wins this. But I'm gonna roll with Matt Brown. He did have an impressive performance versus Diego Sanchez, but Ben Saunders has been a lot more active, even though he is losing. And in his recent fights, he's been way more active than Matt Brown. So I could see it going either way. I could actually see I could see Ben Saunders getting him in the clinch and probably doing something to Matt Brown. Possibly. I don't know. They both have about the same amount of losses and wins. So this is really, I mean, this is actually a good matchup for these old guys. Yeah. So I'm rolling with Matt Brown, dude. I'm not really looking forward to that fight. That's just, I don't know. They need to get rid of these. They need to get rid of some of these older fighters, dude. Like, you guys already had your time to shine. Okay, next fight, Ian Heinisch versus Omari Akhmadov. Hurricane versus Wolverine. 13-2 record for Ian Heinisch. He didn't have the best performance versus Derek Brunson. He gassed out. I picked Ian Heinisch to win that one. I did not think that he was going to gas out. I thought that was one thing that Ian Heinisch had was really good cardio. And he gassed out versus Derek Brunson. The wrestling just wasn't working for him against Brunson, and because Brunson's also a wrestler. Just wasn't. Yeah, his wrestling just wasn't working against Brunson at all. And Brunson just had better striking than Ian Heinisch. And Omari Akhmadov, he has a 19-4 record, 2-fight win streak. He's well-rounded. He has a little bit of everything. My first instinct was to pick Ian Heinisch because he does need a win after that loss. I feel like he should have beat Derek Brunson, but he didn't. So, fuck, dude. I put a question mark by this one, too. I'm going to roll with Ian Heinisch on this one. Something's telling me I shouldn't. Something's telling me I should go with Omari Akhmadov. I usually listen to my gut. I'm going to roll with Ian Heinisch on this one. But if he ends up losing and I rewatch this video, I'll know that I should have went with fucking Omari. Next fight, Caitlin Vieira versus Irene Aldana. Caitlin Vieira, 10-0 record, 2 KO/TKOs, 4 sub wins, she's on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC. This chick has some serious talent, but she's also fighting a girl that's pretty good, and she's on the rise, 11-5 record. She's been in the UFC for a little while now, 5 KO/TKOs, 3 sub wins. She's got her feet wet now. 2 KO/TKO losses. She pieced up Vanilla Melo in her last performance, like really, really bad. I thought she had a great performance in that fight. Her striking's improved a ton. She's got really good wrestling defense. She's a tall fighter. She's aggressive. And she sticks to the basics. And she's also a pressure fighter. She's going to be pressuring Caitlin Vieira. Let's just hope that her wrestling defense can withstand Vieira. And that's just... I'm rolling with Irene Aldana on this one. I'm not going to talk too much more about it. I think she's the underdog in this fight. I feel like she could get the job done. She possibly could get a TKO victory in this fight. I mean, who knows? Maybe even a submission victory if Caitlin Vieira just takes her lightly on the ground. Because Vieira is going to look for the submission victory for sure in this fight, I feel like. Oh, man. Okay, next fight, Mike Perry. Platinum, Mike Perry versus Jeff Neal. Oh, man. Platinum, 13-5 record, 11 KO/TKOs, 1 sub loss, and he should have won his fucking last performance versus Vicente Luque. Like, that fight, oh man, it was just a great fucking fight. That dude, his nose at the end of the fight, I thought anybody else would have fucking gave up if their nose looked like that in the third round and it kept getting punched. Like, and most people would have just fucking, I mean, there was only like a minute and a half left in the fight, maybe 2 minutes, and his nose was just completely shattered. Like, I thought, I was like, holy shit. Like, and Mike Perry was doing great up until that point. He literally was doing great. I felt like it was the ref's fault because they broke him up. And as soon as they broke him up, Vicente Luque came with that flying knee and got him against the cage and hit him kind of with that, whatever that. I think it was, I don't remember if it was a flying knee or if it was just a knee up close. Whatever it was a knee and it fucked his nose up pretty bad. He had to get surgery and shit on it. But man, I'm a real fan of Mike Perry. I like that dude. That dude's style is dope. He's aggressive. He's funny. He's marketable for sure. That guy actually has a personality. He's not hella bland. And he's a good fighter, dude. Fighting another great fighter, Jeff Neal, 12-2 record, 7 KO/TKOs, 2 sub wins, 1 KO loss, 1 sub loss. He's on a 6-fight win streak. TKO Nico Price. I picked Nico Price to win that. I thought Nico was going to get him. Everybody told me to pick Jeff Neal. They said, pick Jeff Neal. He's going to get a win. Jeff Neal almost got knocked out. He was definitely like wobbly legged. He was all over the place. And Nico Price just, I don't know, dude. I feel like that really could have went either way. If they fought 10 times, it would go, I think one person would win 5 or 6 times and the other one would win, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. But yeah, I think, oh man, I'm gonna roll with Mike Perry on this one. I think Mike Perry could actually get a knockout in this fight. I think he is gonna knock Jeff Neal out. Because after seeing him get wobbled by Nico, not saying Nico doesn't hit hard because Nico knocks everybody out, but Mike Perry's a fucking beast, dude. That guy's a stud. And I don't want to be, like, biased because I'm a fan of him, but I do feel like he's going to get a knockout in this fight. But I also feel like Jeff Neal's a very smart fighter. I feel like he might just keep the distance and try to outsmart Perry and maybe even take him to the ground and do some ground and pound on him. But Perry's pretty tough, dude. He's a durable fighter, so I'm going to roll with him. As you see in every one of his fights, he has a chin, dude. That guy can take a punch. And I don't feel like Jeff Neal can take one of Mike Perry's punches as easy as Perry could take his punch. So we'll see. Next fight, I'm not talking too much about this one either. Peter Yan versus Uriah Faber. We all know what Peter Yan's coming in to do. He's 13-1 record. He's coming in to smash this fucking dude. Uriah Faber, man, California kid, 35-10 record. Knocked out Ricky Simon in his last performance. It was a beautiful knockout. I was not expecting that. My girlfriend told me to pick Uriah Faber. I ended up picking Ricky Simon. She knew that he was gonna win. I didn't. So yeah. But I'm rolling with Peter Yan on this one. Peter Yan's gonna get the finish, dude. I think he's gonna finish Uriah Faber. The only way Uriah Faber wins is if he gets Peter Yan to the ground and he submits him. He's not gonna knock him out. That was kind of like a. I'm not gonna say it was a fluke because Uriah Faber can knock people out. We see that. We've seen it in some of his fights. But it kind of was because he's not a knockout artist. He's a submission specialist. He tries to get you to the ground and he tries to choke you out. He's not going to be able to get Peter Yan to the ground that easily. And if he does get him to the ground, I don't think he's going to be able to keep him there. Peter Yan's he's tough, dude. He's fucking tough. That guy's a beast for that division, man. So I'm rolling with Peter Yan. Probably get the finish or the decision victory. One or the other. He's going to get the win. Next fight, Marlon Magic Moraes versus Jose Aldo Jr. 22-6 record for Marlon. Lost his last fight to Henry Cejudo. He was on a 4-fight win streak before that, and 3 of those were, I think, knockouts and submissions. So, I mean, Marlon Moraes is no fucking joke, dude. That guy could literally beat anybody in that division. If it's his night and he's doing what he's supposed to do, he could beat anybody in that division. But Jose Aldo, he's the GOAT of that division. 28-5 record, 17 KO/TKOs. That's fucking ridiculous. 1 sub win, 3 KO/TKO losses. 2 of those are the same person, which was Max Holloway. Those aren't bad losses to have because we see what Max Holloway's done to everybody. He's got one sub loss on his record. Lost his last fight by decision. I think it was in Rio de Janeiro versus Alexander Volkanovski, and that's not a bad loss to have on your record either. So everybody that Jose's fought they've all been great fighters. All of them have been championship caliber. They've all been great. Marlon Moraes has fought great fighters as well. So this could go either way, man. Jose Aldo's got nasty kicks. He's got nasty combinations. He's durable. He doesn't really get that tired in his fights. Occasionally he does. I mean, I've seen him get tired a few times in his fights, but I don't think he will in this one. Marlon Moraes, does he have a cardio issue? A lot of people saying he does. I don't think he has a cardio issue, but I do feel like he's so explosive. And he has so much fast twitch muscle that he just burns himself out too quickly. He doesn't save any of that energy really for the third round because he's not expecting to go into the third round. He's expecting to finish you in the first, second, like somewhere in the beginning of the rounds. He's expecting to finish his opponents. So I think if he's been working on his cardio a little bit and try to like keep that cardio to withstand the whole fight, just in case it goes the distance, I think Marlon Moraes is going to get the win on this one. But if he tries to just explode on Jose and expects that he's just going to knock Jose out or just going to finish him that quickly, I don't think it's going to be like that. Jose Aldo's a smart fighter. He did get knocked out quick by Conor McGregor, but it's just because Conor got in his head. I feel like if they refought, it wouldn't go the same way. Like Conor probably could knock him out again. Not saying that he couldn't, but I think he got in his head so much that Jose psyched himself out. He was so jittery, and he just wasn't fighting like he was, even for that split 10 seconds, however long it went. He wasn't the same person that he normally is because Conor got in his head so much. It fucked his whole game plan up. And, yeah, so I'm going to roll with Marlon Moraes on this one. I think he could get the win. I think he could probably get the TKO or maybe a submission victory. Either way, I think he's going to get the win on this one. Jose Aldo's a beast, but he is coming to the end of his career. And some of these other Brazilian fighters are going to be taking his place soon. So next fight, Amanda Nunes versus Germaine de Randamie. 18-4 record for Amanda Nunes, 9-3 record for Germaine de Randamie. De Randamie has great kickboxing skills, dude. Like hers are just, I can't really think of anybody else that has kickboxing skills other than Holly Holm in that division. Amanda Nunes has great kickboxing skills as well. Not as good as de Randamie though. I think Amanda Nunes' hands are great. I think Amanda Nunes has a lot of power behind her punches. She sits on her punches. She's just a great striker in general. But de Randamie, I think her kicks are better than Nunes's kicks, and I think she uses distance better than Nunes as well. But Nunes is a fucking beast. I don't see her losing this fight. She's already beat de Randamie a few years back. Knocked her out in the first round. I'm rolling with Nunes to get the win in this fight as well. So, yeah, she'll probably get the first or second round finish. But if de Randamie fights smart, it could be an upset. This could definitely be an upset. And also, Amanda Nunes has a lot more fight experience, at least in MMA-wise. For de Randamie, she has a lot of kickboxing experience. But, yeah, I'm rolling with Nunes for this one. That'll be another, man, that's going to be a good fight. Next fight, Max Blessed Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. 21-4 record for Max Holloway, 20-1 record for Volkanovski, and he's on a 7-fight win streak. Oh man, I keep going back and forth on this one. I really want to pick Volkanovski to win. And its crazy part is I watched the interview. Max Holloway has the reach disadvantage against Volkanovski, yet he's 5 or 6 inches taller than Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski has a 2-inch reach advantage. So, yeah, he was saying he had like T-Rex arms and shit, and almost everybody that he's fought, it hasn't made a difference because almost everybody that Max Holloway's fought has the reach advantage, even though he's taller than him, which is kind of weird. But I'm rolling with Max Holloway on this one. Volkanovski is a cardio machine. He pressures his opponents. He keeps pressuring his opponents. His performance versus Jose Aldo was a great performance. He just outworked him. But I don't think he's going to be outworking Max Holloway. The only way Holloway loses is if he gets clipped with something, which I don't see happening. He didn't even get clipped with something when he got... he did a few times, but he didn't go out. When he fought Dustin Poirier, and you've seen the size advantage. Dustin Poirier's body type is just way bigger than Holloway's. So Holloway's not losing this fight. I just don't see it happening. Volkanovski's great, but I think this is going to be his first official loss in the UFC. Everybody has that one loss when they meet their match, and this is going to be his match because Holloway is a cardio machine as well. He doesn't get tired. His output and volume is ridiculous. You can't slow him down. I picked Ortega to beat him. I picked a few people to beat Holloway. And inside of my head, I'm always thinking, Holloway's probably going to win this fight. Like, I always go against my gut. So this time I'm going to go with Holloway. Hopefully it doesn't work against me this time because this is going to be the first time I actually pick Holloway. And fuck, dude, I hope he doesn't lose because I pick him. Next fight. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington, main fucking event, man. Both 15-1 records. Kamaru Usman, 6 KOs/TKOs, 1 sub win, 1 sub loss. Hasn't lost since the CFT days. He's on a 10-fight win streak in the UFC, which is insane because I didn't even know Cameron Usman's been in the UFC since 2015. I don't know if that's because he got a boring style of fighting or if he's just that dominant that I kind of just didn't notice him. But man, he rose to the top pretty quick actually when you think about it. But Colby Covington, 2 KO/TKO wins, 5 sub wins, 1 sub loss versus Warley Alves. He's on a 7-fight win streak. He hasn't lost. The only fight he lost was to Warley Alves, and it was by, I think it was a rear naked choke or some shit. I remember watching that fight too. I was so shocked that he lost. Colby Covington, both of them cardio machines. Usman's going to have the bigger body type. He's probably going to have the strength advantage. He's probably going to have the punching power advantage as well. But Colby Covington, he's pretty fucking good, man. You can hate him. You can love him. But you got to respect him because he's a good fighter, dude. He's a good fighter. I'm not a fan of him, of the antics, but I definitely could see him. I could see him beating Usman in this fight. So I'm rolling with Colby Covington, dude. This is the first time I've ever picked Colby, and probably going to be the last time I ever pick him. Unless he wins. If he wins me some cash, then maybe I'll pick him in the future. But, oh, man, I don't want to pick him. But if it comes down to money, I just feel like it's going to be an upset. I feel like a lot of people are picking Usman because their feelings are in it. Kind of like Colby. Colby says that in a few of his videos. People, their feelings get into it, which it's true. It's true. So I mean, if your feelings get into it and you just really hate Colby Covington that much that you pick Usman, but you're not picking him just because the actual advantage that Usman might have. I mean, they both have advantages in this fight. They're both great wrestlers. They're not the best strikers, but they have been working on their striking. And in each fight, you notice that their striking's definitely improved. Usman looked great against Tyron Woodley. I picked Tyron Woodley to beat him. I did not think that was going to happen. I picked the last person that Colby Covington fight. I can't really remember who it was, but I picked that guy. I think it was one of the Brazilian dudes. I picked him to beat Colby Covington, and he lost as well. So I keep picking against these guys. So now I actually have to pick one of them. So I'm going to roll with Colby Covington. I'm going to roll with the guy that everybody hates. And let's hope that he wins me some cash. All right. Everybody enjoy their weekend. Subscribe, comment, like, drop who you think's going to win, how you think they're going to win if you want. Give me some insight on some of these fighters too. Like Chase Hooper. I didn't watch too much tape on him, so if you guys know some things that I should know about, and then yeah, just tell me if you think I'm totally wrong on some of these picks and that I should change them fast. But I probably won't be changing them. I pretty much stick to my picks. The last few months I've been sticking to all my picks. So, and it's been better because I used to just switch them all the time, and that would fuck me over big. So yeah, you guys enjoy your weekend, enjoy the fights. Hopefully you guys all win some cash.